Ladies and gentlemen, joining the DKECON stage, Seth Relentless!
I moved. I'm not in my studio anymore. I'm in my house.
That was amazing. Seth, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Just hanging out. It's a nice day. I'm just chilling at my house right now. I've been trying to tune in as much as possible to everything.
Yeah.
So, it's been super fun.
How's that going? A bootleg queen says, "I want Chris to announce my life. Just follow me around."
He can be your hype man.
Just for the people who are on here who might not know who you are, so we're not pretending like this is just our own little private party. Can you tell people who you are, what you do, where we can follow you?
Yep. My name is Seth Relentless. I make toys and art and do illustration. I kind of do a lot of different things. I've been working as a graphic designer and illustrator since college, and on and off for companies and doing my own stuff and different things like that. But I'm on Instagram, just at Seth Relentless. That's where you can find me.
So are you self-employed or you work for a company?
I work part-time. I do like part-time work, graphic design, and then the rest of the time I work on toys. Last year we lived in Connecticut for like a year, and I took the whole year off and I just made toys all year. And then when we got back to Texas, I started doing some work again. So.
And so the graphic design work, that's something you said you did that since college. So has that always been freelance? You just get clients and.
When I got out of college, I worked at a screen print company, and I just I worked there for like 5 years, and it was a big company in Pittsburgh, and we had like there's probably like 7 or 8 illustrators, and then a whole production crew, and I just drew t-shirt designs all day long. Wow. And I did that for a while right out of college, and then I worked at a couple other places doing similar things, mostly illustration. I'm not really good at like logo design, and I can do that stuff, but I don't really do that. I just like drawing pictures. So every job I've had, I usually focus on drawing.
So what was your first toy? Was Larger Burger your first toy, or did you do a toy? No, it was not. You did other toys before that.
Well,
right?
It was my G G Allin C3PO.
The G G Allin. That's how I met you. Right.
Yeah.
And so what year was that?
That was probably like 3 or 4 years ago, I want to say.
And so what was the inspiration? Like how did you get into the scene? Did you see somebody's work? What did you see? What did you feel? How did you say to yourself and come to the conclusion that this is I want to do this?
Well, I've always been interested in story and toys. I mean, I've collected toys since I was a kid. I never played sports. I always did art, and I like cartoons and toys and music, and that's like all I was ever into. So I've always been into that. And I used to have a pretty large Star Wars collection. And whenever they reissued all the stuff in the 90s, I like bought all that stuff. And then I moved around a lot, so I got rid of some of that stuff. But I always loved toys. And then, I've always had a sketchbook, and I make characters, and I've always drawn characters and have like stories in my head. I like comics a lot, but I've never really drawn any comics. Usually just like, I've never done a whole like comic strip or anything like that. But I like comics and I like stories. So I had an idea for a toy line or for characters, and I wanted to like make a toy. So I found like a book online that was like how to make resin toys, and it was like this little instruction book, and it was like super archaic. I don't know, the guy, it's a pretty funny book, but he was making really simple toys, and I was like, oh, that's cool, resin toys. I never thought of that. And I like designer toys. I like all that stuff. So I started looking up resin toys, and then I came across a lot of other artists. Like I think Killer Bootlegs was the first one where I saw it, and I was like, and it kind of blew my mind, and I was like, oh my God, I never even like that never crossed my mind what what you could do with it. So that kind of inspired me a lot to do it. And then I was like, well, I need to make something. And I was like, well, what can I make? And that's when I came up with the G G Allin figure. I was like, well, I'll just make this as like a test to see if I can do this. And then I did that one, and I don't know, it turned out pretty good. And then I just kept going from there.
Yeah, I remember getting that figure, and did I miss it? And I contacted you. I don't remember why, but it was like, a mashup of G G Allin and C-3PO. I mean, that's kind of messed up.
I thought it was funny. I just thought I thought it'd be funny to cast C-3PO in like flesh color. I know he kind of always looked naked to me, anyways, right? He's just like chrome, but he's
kind of messed up.
So, and then like I don't know. G G Allin's like always been a muse. And I made a G G Allin pop-up book in college one time.
Sorry for laughing.
Yeah, so like I've always like, and then I painted the jackets with G G Allin. I just always thought he was funny subject matter. But so like that was kind of the inspiration behind that. And so I don't know. It just worked. And then I kept going with the Punk Wars. I've done 4 Punk Wars. I did 2 Glenn Danzig ones, and I did a HR 2D2, which is HR from the Bad Brains. So
sure. Sarah Churchill wants to know where the pop-up book is.
So my friend Scott, and he lives in Ohio. He has it. He is the first person that ever introduced me to G G Allin, and he has a huge G G Allin collection, and I gave it to him. So
wow, if you ever go over to his place again, I think you should shoot a little video and post it, because I think we all want to see that.
Yeah.
Jinky is like shaking his head.
Well, I'd like to remake it. I mean, I made a couple zines recently, and like I like paper stuff, and I collect zines. I don't have a huge zine collection, but I have a pretty good one, and I like. There's an artist. His name's Dan Zeitwich. He's out of St. Louis, and he does illustrations and makes all these little zines, and I love his stuff, and I buy everything he makes. If you ever get a chance, check him out. But he's a big inspiration, and he makes all these. They're all foldable, and like he makes cool stuff. So I like doing stuff like that. So I should do a zine for it. I'll do a remake or something. The new G G Allin pop-up book or something would be cool.
Nice. So tell us about Defenders of Injustice. How did that come about? And I'm just going to preface that by telling people who don't know, I should probably grab the figure. You see it, Jinky? Right there. It is right here. So this is the figure we have in stock here. It's the environmental terrorists, based on a very iconic advertising character who shall remain nameless. I have to say that I do love the backs of your cards.
I don't know. I think it's funny, like those McDonald's characters that they did, like all those characters are advertising towards kids, but sometimes it could be a nightmare. So a lot of those, like the Defenders of Injustice, they got the political edge, but it's also kind of like a child's nightmare in a lot of ways too. So I think about those characters, how that you can make them look kind of evil, but I love the McDonald's. I mean, I actually really I think McDonald's is like, for as bad as they are, they're also amazing, and like all their advertising, and like now they suck, but in the 80s, like the stuff they did was amazing, and like the buildings, all that stuff is like pretty cool. And I like the Officer Big Mac. I always thought that was cool, and I just wanted to make that into an action figure. So.
And then he turned him into a child detention officer. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then the name, I was like, what can we call it? And I think we were bouncing off, and I was talking to people, and I just came up with Defenders of Injustice. I thought it was funny. I wanted it to be like I don't know, like one of those like just like a team of villains or something. I don't know. So it's been cool to like keep coming up with those ideas for sure.
I think what I've noticed about your work and who I get calls and emails, from, is that I think your biggest collectors are like all the other artists in the scene. What I said the other day, you're kind of like the artist. There's like the chef, all the chefs go to eat at this one guy's place who makes all like, the weird eyeballs and stuff. It's like that's you. Not that it's like weird eyeballs, but it's just like the quality and the paint job and the art and the design, because you sculpt the figures too yourself.
Yeah, I sculpt. I like to kit bash. I always like to take a piece from another figure, because I like that. I like when people have like familiarity with it and they see it and they go, oh, I think they like know it's something, and it takes them a minute. So it's cool to like, this like with the environmental terrace, it's like Prune Face is his face, but I made him look all different. So that's funny. Like some people notice that, but I want people to notice, the stuff I use. And then for the hunk of cheese guys, I use size noodles, which is the craziest looking body ever. But I sculpted the face, and then I used Boss Hog for the sugar industry lobbyist, and I sculpted the snow cone head for that. And then I sculpted Large Burger's head, and I used Star Wars body for that. So
my point is that you you're kind of like I don't know how many things it is, but like you do all the things, and there are very few people that do all the things, from like conceptualizing to sculpting to casting to painting to doing the card art and printing the card art. It's like most other artists need help in some capacity, to get their pieces done. And
yeah, sometimes I think about wanting to do that. I've done stuff for other people. I've done card art for other people. I don't know. I'm particular about things, but I like doing everything. It just takes me longer to get stuff done, but I think that's fine.
So what's the goal? I mean, you talked about taking a year off from graphic design to do toys. I mean, do you want to do toys full time? Do you want the graphic design jobs to go away? Tired of working for other people?
Yeah, I don't like working for other people. I never have. I don't know. I hate like corporate stuff, and I don't like going to meetings or anything like that. So that stuff all sucks. So I try to do as little of that as possible, even when I have jobs. I don't know. I think I never was ever like, I never worked my way up the ladder at any company because I didn't like kissing people's asses or doing things like that. So I don't really like that. So I like making my own stuff. I would definitely, I don't know. I mean, I would work on projects for companies. I would do other things like, I get people ask me to do things for them, and I like doing that. So I don't mind working with people. And I like doing illustration, and I even like doing, little animations and all that. So I'm pretty open to what I like to do. And to me, it's not like I have this plan, like, oh, I want to go do that in the next years. I like, if something cool comes along, I like want to do that, So if somebody asks me to do something and it's worth doing, to me, it's more about what the project is than even making the money, or like.
Sure.
So I don't know. The older I get, the more interested I am in doing things that are important to me and making the kind of work that I want to make. And that's the whole reason I took that year off, was like, I just made the things I wanted to make, and I didn't really make anything for anybody else. And it was just all my ideas and all my stuff. And like, that was really important to take that time to like, kind of re-gauge where I wanted to do, or what I want to do and where I wanted to be. So,
but I guess, so is toys it for you? I mean, that's like the dream, and like you're here, and like you can make toys the rest of your life, and you can be a happy, fulfilled person.
Yeah, maybe. I think so. I like it. I mean, I just, as long as I'm doing something with characters and story, and like, I like making the toys, and like, I have a list of like 150 toys or more on a list of ideas that, and like,
wow, that's like a lifetime of projects.
Yeah, like, and I know most of those will never get made, but I'm obsessed with writing down ideas and lists and things, and I have a bunch of ideas and stuff I want to make. So I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I won't have something that I want to make, and so I'll definitely keep making stuff, and but I don't know, anything that has to do with art, so
that's awesome, dude.
So
well, wonderful. Thanks so much for hanging out and for talking to us again. And I know you talked to us earlier today and showed us your collection. That was really a treat and a lot of fun. So I guess the last question is this line of figures going to continue? Are we going to have more Defenders of Injustice?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what the next one's going to be yet. I know we talked about a couple ideas, but we'll see. It's funny because some of those, like that one just popped in that wasn't on my list. It just popped in my head out of nowhere, and I just decided to make it. So who knows what the next one will be, but.
You told me an idea of the guy, the I'm Just a Bill guy from Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
And I just can imagine that little scroll, and he's just like an evil politician. What was he, a lobbyist? What was he?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure you'll work it out. But that image as a kid, that I'm Just a Bill, was like, you know, that's how I learned about government and
Corporate tax shelter.
corporate tax shelter. Good one. Yeah. So, all right, dude. Thank you again. Really appreciate the time. And great job on the toy. Hope to talk to you soon.
Cool.